So you guys, I'm so excited. This is Colson-Eyre. This is our Cheetah Nation family meeting nights, August the 10th, 2020. So glad to have everybody that came on live on Zoom, and then all our people watching live on Facebook, and all of you that are watching on YouTube on another day. And so we are so super duper excited. Kristin Myers is a national sales director, and she approached me and asked me if I would speak to some of her area, and very kindly, I would have done it anyway. She said, and I'll be glad to do something for you. And I'm like, yes. So I'm not even doing anything for her till September. And so she is someone I have looked up to. I met Kristen personally in December. I've seen her, but I met her personally, got to sit at a table with her for a few minutes at the $1 Million Weekend in Nemacolin, I think it's what it called, in Pennsylvania in December of 2019. And we had no idea what was coming before us in the next few months, none at all. And I just thought, wow, the biggest thing I thought, that is a godly leader. It's a godly leader. And everything out of her mouth is just amazing to me. So she's going to share her story tonight. She's going to give us some encouragement, some training. Really anything the Lord leads her to say will be perfect for what we need to hear. So I'm going to read you her accolades. They're amazing, and this just kind of solidifies everything I already knew of how just what a woman she is. So Kristen started her business on January 31st, the last day of January 2002, with the intent of earning $500 a year for Christmas presents and to help a consultant finish her directorship. Think about that, y'all. Okay. By the age of 25, Kristen was already earning $100,000 and more in annual income, and earned her first $1 million in Mary Kay by the age of 30. She has already finished her third $1 million, thank you very much, and is well on her way to her fourth. With her earnings, Kristen has paid off her first home, a log cabin on the family farm, and bought a second, slightly larger home, 6,000 square foot home, by the age of 31 years old. She earned her first career car in 8 months out after joining Mary Kay, and has earned a total of 8 Mary Kay cars, 7 of them being the beautiful pink Cadillac. In 2010, Kristen was the #1 ranked unit in all of Mary Kay. And she has been a Diamond Circle National Sales Director ever since her appointment in 2011. Kristen's current title is the prestigious Senior National Sales Director, earning her a portrait on the Wall of Fame at the Mary Kay Museum in Dallas, Texas. To date, her highest commission check before sales is over $45,722.55 in one calendar month. She has also received more than 55 carats in diamond jewelry. Because of the success of her outstanding national area, Kristen and her husband have earned all expense-paid trips to, now y'all just think about this a minute. Some of y'all are just trying to get out of town for a few minutes. And you know what? I don't like to condense it. Kristen, I want to read the whole thing because I love it, okay? All right, this is where she's been. Copenhagen, Stockholm, Prague, Munich, Florence, Rome twice, Dubrovnik, the Greek Isles, Istanbul, Maui twice, Beijing, China. I was there with you on Kristen. That was my very first trip. Lisbon, Barcelona, the French Riviera, Corsica, and we'll be heading to Budapest in 2021 and a Greek Isle cruise in 2022. In addition, she was requested to teach the international sales force in Germany, Switzerland, and the Netherlands. She's Mary Kay famous. As of January 1st, 2018, she was nominated to the NSD Advisory Board to partner with Mary Kay Corporate on the Sales and Marketing Council. Now, this is one of the biggest things, because when Mary Kay passed away in 2001, these were like her daughters. Or was it? Yeah, 2001. The nationals were her daughters. Okay, so there's a lot of Mary Kay national daughters. However, I would call them the firstborns. These are on the NSD Advisory Board because they really are the ones that have the heart of Mary Kay, that are helping them make decisions that help us as directors and consultants keep our company in the forward direction that it's going in today. So I so appreciate her being on that board. It's a big fat honor is what it is. She's the mother of 4 children. Lucas, 21, finishing his last year as in aviation and aeronautics program with the intent of flying commercial or military planes for his career. Marcus is 19 and a sophomore at Virginia Tech, pursuing a psychology undergraduate degree with the intentions of becoming a psychiatrist. I always said that's what people need to do right now with this COVID, because every single one of us are going to need it before it's over. Isabella is 17, Thomas are 14, both straight A students in high school. She sees herself as a Mary Kay missionary. She works every day to make a difference through her business. Her current goals in Mary Kay are to have the visionary represented in the top 3 of the Sapphire Seminar and be one of 13 nationals to reach inner circle status. And I know she will do that. You guys, she's from Roanoke, Virginia. I am so proud to have her on our Boss Babe call. Our Cheetah Nation family meeting call tonight. Please give it up for the amazing, give a little hand, Kristin Myers. Woo! Take
awesome.
it over, Kristin.
Cheetah, thank you so much for that introduction. You're the second person that has read the updated, I'd say I'm going to call them updated accolades. So I asked my husband last week, I'm like, can you please update my accolades? I'm going to be doing some, conference calls with some people in the new seminar year. So I think they just keep getting longer. I think he just keeps making them. I think he just keeps making them longer, but he is proud. I think Stephanie said that he's proud, and he quit his job to be a supportive Mary Kay husband when I was in DIQ, and not a lot of men would even go in that go that route to do. And so he has been a very supportive, on board husband for a long time, y'all. And so he does love it, and he does love that we have 4 kids, and we do all kinds, guys, like all kinds of fun things together, and because of Mary Kay. And so I get to share some of those things with you tonight, everybody. I'm thankful. I'm super thankful for the 18 years that I've been part of Mary Kay, and I want to share some of that journey with you guys. I think many of you are consultants within these awesome superstar leaders that are on the stream. You can see their faces with Cleta tonight. And so I want you to know how much that you matter. I want you to know how much as a beauty consultant, whether you're a brand new beauty consultant or a seasoned beauty consultant or whatever the goal might be, because you love Mary Kay, you're making a difference, guys, with not just your customers, but within these units and the future national areas that you might be part of, and everyone has different goals. That's for sure. And if you're a beauty consultant, I would love for you to ask your director, if you haven't this week, hey, what's our goal? Like, what is our goal for the month of August, and where are we at with our goal? And be that consultant that raises the bar for everybody within the group. That's not just her checking in on you. It's not just her asking you, how's it going? But you asking your director, how's it going? What's going on? What is she excited about? So I'm very much someone that believes in family and believes in that sisterhood of what we can create together. So I did get to hang out and spend some time with Cleta at the $1 Million Weekend reunion. That was in, I guess, November, December. I don't even, she said the month, I don't even know. But we didn't know, we truly didn't know what the next upcoming months would look like. But I felt like that we're more primed for that. We are primed for solution-oriented mentality to know, see things as opportunity and see things as not just guys, as we shouldn't see as a problem, or not just as a challenge, but as an opportunity. So for some of you guys, you probably, really sharpened your problem solving skills, and you have gone through a learning curve. And I just want to say I'm proud of y'all. It's different. Especially when you've done Mary Kay a certain way, right, for so long. And if I could help you to think a new thought today, it's that nothing is different except the platform. That you are still that person that does Mary Kay the Mary Kay way, that believes in the heart of the business, that believes in the golden rule philosophy, that believes that ethics trumps everything and integrity trumps everything, that believes in putting God first and family second and career third. So now, guys, instead of seeing it as like an issue that there's a pandemic, I'm actually, I've been fasting for about 2 weeks from the news. So I'm not doing it. I'm not going to look at it. and then rename the thing. You know, instead of saying it's a pandemic, I'm just saying that we're in a season, that we're in this season. And then I'll say things like that it's an opportunity. I've named it opportunity. I've just named the thing opportunity about 2 weeks ago, and we're just calling it an opportunity. So looking for that silver lining in all, you know, in all things, right? In all things. So I want to encourage you guys to ask yourself, you know, how do you think God is working through you today? How do you think that God is working through you in Mary Kay in 2020? And ask him, you know, when's the last time that you had a conversation about that? You know, we can get comfortable being a parent. We can get comfortable being a wife. We can get comfortable being a Mary Kay consultant. And sometimes, guys, it's just important for you to renew that vision that you had. And sometimes it's literally praying that God will give you a fresh vision, that he will give you a renewed spirit, that he'll wash over, and that newness, that excitement that you felt when you first said yes to Mary Kay, the very first day that you joined. Because for some of us, y'all, that was like a while ago. You know, that may be 5 years ago, maybe 15, it might be 20, it might be 25, it might be 35. But for you to, you know, you have to ask him to put yourself in the frame of mind to renew that vision, to give you that fresh insight on how he's going to use you and where he's taking you in Mary Kay today. So for some of you guys, even if you're a beauty consultant, you've only been in Mary Kay for a couple of weeks, or maybe you've been in Mary Kay for 2 years, and that doesn't seem like a long time. See, to some of you guys, that seems like a long time. And then to others, it's not very long. You know, you're still new and learning. So it's everyone has a perspective of their Mary Kay business, but your journey is not someone else's journey. Your hurts is not someone else's hurts. You know, Mary Kay is an equal opportunity for all people to come in and be successful and make a difference in their life, but not all people come into Mary Kay at an equal place in their life. So you might be saying, you know, my gosh, Kristen, you know, this is my second career. I've been in nursing for 55 years or whatever. I'm 55, I've been in nursing for whatever we'll say 35 years. And, you know, I wish I had learned about Mary Kay 20 years ago. And that's where we have to be careful not to undo or try to rewrite God's plan for your Mary Kay business. So I'm an advocate, guys, for loving yourself in your story and accepting your story and being grateful for your story and surrendering your story as many times as you need to. And sometimes, guys, it's, you know, you would like to think, I think we would all like to think as Christians that we can just surrender our lives, you know, like one time. But sometimes it's not just your life. Maybe it's, you know, God's got your life, but you have to surrender a circumstance. And so oftentimes, guys, no matter how many times it takes, we have to go back and say, you know, I give my, you know, how can you use me again today? Like, what does that look like? And help me to see that. So for some of you guys, you maybe have only been in for 2 weeks, but you've read something, you felt something. Maybe you went to virtual career conference. Maybe you know, you're going to do seminar next week, and you're going to be careful about what message God's going to send you at seminar. But for some, like myself, you know, I believed that God had planted the goal or the vision to be a national sales director before I had my first pink Cadillac. So here I was, you know, when I had my first car was that red Grand Am. It was a red Grand Am, but I had a vision that was much bigger, right? And then there's all the in between, right? There's the vision that comes first, right? And you know, Habakkuk, you know, 2:2, and then the very next verse, though, Habakkuk 2:3 says you just got to wait a little longer. And sometimes you just have to wait a little longer. You just have to wait a little longer. But the great thing is that in between is growing you. That in between is growing people. Sometimes people will walk up to me and say, you know, well, Kristen, why do you think that, like, I'm not a national sales director yet? And I simply want to say to them, is one of your 20 hasn't turned 18 yet, didn't you know? Like, one of your 18, she's not, one of your 20, she's not 18 yet. And so it's almost like God has these people picked out for you, for those of you that are on that path to be a national, and we just have to trust, right, that they're already picked out, they're already appointed. He knows their birthday, and we have to ask ourselves, are we okay with earning a car or being a sales director or being a national on his terms? Or do we give God an ultimatum when we really have no authority to do that, and we maybe didn't mean to do that? Maybe we just, a little sassy pants, and we don't even realize we're doing it. But every time, guys, whatever level that you're at, if you go into a frame of mind like, well, I'm going to give Mary Kay one more year, and if I don't get to where I want to be in one more year, I'm out of here. I want to go sell something else, or whatever it might be, And so that's giving God an ultimatum. So, you got to check yourself too with even that internal communication. You might think that you're just being mean to yourself or mad at yourself, but really go, okay, well, who created my conscience, and who am I talking to right now? And who can hear me right now? So look at those things. And for some of you guys, that goal or that dream or vision to be a national sales director, it may have never been planted. And I don't want you to ever feel less than. I don't want you to ever feel, like you've missed out, right? Because again, those are sayings, those are words or comments that we can say to ourselves that only tear us down. And so your journey is not my journey. My journey is not someone else's journey. But it doesn't mean that it's not an equally divine journey that was appointed just for you, that was saved just for you, that was made just for you, right? I mean, the lady that recruited me, you guys heard that I joined to support a DIQ, to help a DIQ. And I'm so thankful that she was willing to be transparent enough and asked me to help her. My mom had a Mary Kay skincare class, and I really didn't want to go to the party. And the reason why she even had a skincare class is because she kind of booked herself for a party. A lady had came into her school and was talking, kind of warm chat, talking to people about Mary Kay. And my mom, we grew up on a farm. I grew up on a farm. So we were farmers. We're apple, peach, and cherry farmers. And my mom didn't wear makeup. That wasn't part of her normal routine. So the Mary Kay lady that was in the school was talking to the other people that looked like someone she could get business from. And then there's my mom, right? That just didn't have any makeup on at all, and she kind of saw what was going on. And my mom's very opinionated, and she's a little loud. And she said, basically, like, what's wrong with me? I want a facial. So she kind of like booked herself for a facial, and then she told me I had to come, and I didn't want to come. I'm like, Mom, why are you having a Mary Kay party? And we live out in the middle of nowhere. Like, who's going to come to a party? I'm from a small town, about 800 people. And I'm like, no one's going to come. Like, no one's going to come. And she's like, well, that's why you are. So I was like, oh my gosh, I so don't want to come. But here's the deal, guys, is that lady that came to my mom's house, thankfully, she was part of my journey, and I'm so thankful for her, and I'm so grateful for her. But y'all, it was a little bit of a hot mess. She showed up 30 minutes late. She had on blue jeans. She didn't have on a Mary Kay. Y'all look so nice tonight. And she talked about her, I'm Southern. Cletus, I can tell Cletus Southern.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I know sometimes we don't have filters. I get it. I get it. But y'all, that lady, and I shouldn't have been there. I shouldn't have been judging. But that lady came in 30 minutes late, and I was only there for 30 minutes. I was only there for 30 minutes. And somehow in that 30-minute increment, she had talked about her divorce, had talked about tying her husband up to a tree and calling the police. Like, you can't even make this stuff up. And I remember thinking the only reason, y'all, I'm even here is because she didn't do anything right. She didn't do anything right because she didn't have no cotton balls. She didn't have no washcloths. But she had a career packet. And I was leaving because I'm fairly structured, and my nap time was at 2 and the party was at 1, but she was late. So it was 1:30. I'm leaving at 2, tough luck, lady. And so she kind of threw a career packet at me as I was leaving the house. and I put the baby down for a nap, and it was just in my hand. I don't know that I would have ever even thought another thing about Mary Kay. And I sat there and I read it, and I thought, this can't be real. Like, this can't be real, you know, and obviously something's going on with that woman. I mean, like, but I was intrigued. I was intrigued with the information, and I called my grandma, and I said to my grandma, I was like, Grandma, I'm thinking about selling Mary Kay. What do you think of me selling Mary Kay? And because I really respected her. And she said, Kristen, I think that your cousin sells Mary Kay. Why don't you call your cousin? And we know we hate it when people say that to us. But I called my cousin, and my cousin said, yeah, I'm a consultant, but I'm not interested in recruiting you because it doesn't really work. I'm not really going to make any money with it, so I'm just quitting. And I was like, well, who recruited you? Like, I want to talk to some competent person that's in Mary Kay. I'm like, who recruited you? And please don't think I'm horribly judgmental, but I mean, it was like, I couldn't have dealt with a hot mess. I couldn't deal with a hot mess woman. And so my cousin gave me the phone number of her recruiter. Her name was Becky. And I booked myself for a career chat. I booked myself for an interview. And I remember peeking out the blinds of my mama's house that's where I booked the coffee chat. And I peeked out the blinds because I wasn't going to open the door. If she looked like a hot mess, I wasn't even going to open the door, y'all. And so I peeked out the blinds, and she had on a black skirt and a red jacket, and a DIQ scarf, and we used to have briefcases. She had a briefcase. And I was going to sign up with her just because she looked good. So I let her do her little, conversation, and you don't have to know the details, but basically I had read all the books. I'd read autobiographies, Mary Kay on time management before she got to my house. I had read everything that I could find on Mary Kay, and I knew it was good. Like, I trusted guys the opportunity, and I just wanted to find a mentor. I trusted the opportunity. I just had to find the right person, the mentor, and she did a great job, with everything. And I was still I'm a C, obviously I'm a C, D personality. And I had read the back of the agreement 6 times, and I didn't sign that day because I kept saying, like, why are you trying to recruit me in the middle of a star quarter? Like, shouldn't I sign up on the first day of a star quarter so I have 3 whole months to be a bigger star? So I was just really a really hard, irritating person to deal with. And, I said, I'm not joining today. I said, great. I said, congratulations. Like, when I join, you get me. Like, you get me. But I'm not joining today. But thank you very much, and I'll be in touch. And but this is what happened. It's about 3 weeks later. She calls me on the last day of the month. And at that time, guys, we used to have agreements in by 8 o'clock Eastern time. And she called me about 7. And that's when she didn't do anything better. It was just different because she became transparent with her message. And she said, look, I drive to work. I go out of town. The first time was facts and figures, and I loved it. I was attracted to it. It was facts. It was figures. It was confidence. But then the second time was I drive to work every day, an hour and 15 minutes. I get up really early in the morning. I leave my 2 toddlers with somebody. She left them with the babysitter. I get home. I pick them up. Someone else spends 10, 12 hours with these babies. I get home. I fix food. I give them a bath. And she said, I fall over. And I do it every day, and I feel like a robot. And she was saying, would you help me get out of the monotony of my life? And I said yes. I couldn't see doing it. Like, I didn't have to say yes to Mary Kay then. I didn't think it was the right time. I didn't think I was the right necessarily person to be successful. I just wanted, I just was attracted to like $500 a year for Christmas presents, and it was January. So I had 11 months. I was going to sign up sometime before Christmas. It was January. So but I plan out that far, y'all. Plan out. So it was January. I figured in 6 months or so, I would sign up for Mary Kay and have 4 or 5 months to make money for Christmas. But I said, I'll go ahead and do it for you. So I don't think we can underestimate the power of that transparency, the power of showing your heart. You're not just divulging your whole life history to someone, but you are, guys, sharing your heart and humbling yourself in a way to say, this is why I'm Mary Kay now. Because some of you guys, you may have been in Mary Kay long enough that you've talked to your family and friends about your goals, that they've known for a while that you wanted to be a sales director, a red jacket, or earn a car, but it hasn't happened yet. So I just want to encourage you to be that person that calls again and says, this is why now. And know that story, know that story, because I think that fear of maybe someone judging you, or maybe looking like you're not a person that follows through, prevents you from connecting to people or with people that really do care about you. Are you willing, though, to say, I know I've said this before. I've been part of Mary Kay for this period of time. I've been building my business with Mary Kay for this part of the time. But I realized that I was playing in Mary Kay, or hanging out in Mary Kay, or growing as a person in Mary Kay. But now I'm ready to grow in business. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't want you to feel like that's awesome. If you spent 10 years growing personally in Mary Kay, growing, your self-confidence, learning to love yourself, learning to love your neighbor, those are things that I got out of Mary Kay, right? How the heck could I love other people if I didn't love myself? That's a big issue, right? So saying that, I took this period of time to learn to love myself and to love people, and to do Mary Kay for the right reasons, not to do Mary Kay for personal accomplishments, but to do Mary Kay to really serve women. I didn't understand that when I first joined Mary Kay. So it's different now. I'm different now, right? My mission is different now. This is the mission, because it's the mission that's going to move you through a pandemic or an opportunity. It's the mission that's going to keep things hopeful and fresh and exciting, and that you see a challenge as a fun thing to win, not a challenge that will more than likely be a defeative, result. So, know that, and be willing to put yourself out there, however many times that you need to do. During that time period, guys, when I was building a business, I joined to support this person. And how did I transition from being about helping her to being about me? Well, I think God will move some in people's lives, and things will change. And for me, it was, I needed a car, and and then I became a director, not because I felt like I was prepared or had been in long enough, but because it was the next correct step. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? So, I could have waited around thinking I need to do it 2 or 3 more years before I'm more equipped, or, I didn't know if people liked me. I didn't think I was equipped to lead people. I certainly wasn't done leading myself. So sometimes I hear from people, I've got to lead myself completely. I've got to be completely whole, completely healed with the divorce, completely healed with the situation. I got to get all my back child support paid for the past 30 years, and then I can become a director. And so, guys, so many years, right, can just flash by so quickly. And I don't want to be, and I don't want you to be that person that ever goes, I wish I had when. I wish I had when. I don't want you to ever be that person that said, I wish I had when, right? So what can you conquer today? What kind of goal can you, that maybe you've closeted, that you put in the closet, that you pretend it's not important? You're only kidding yourself. Like, you got to get it back out of the closet and dust it off, and revive it, because if you don't think you can, I know that God can. So just renew, right? Renew the faith. That's been a message that he gave me at leadership this year, is that, go out and renew the face of the earth, and that God is renewing the face of the earth. And so when all this stuff happened, I thought he's just renewing the face of the earth. A lot of times, guys, for people to come together in some situation or resemblance, I hate it. but you got to have a horrible, absolute horrible, you got to have a war. You got to have horrible things happen because honestly, you know, humans are just blinded by what a lot of people are blinded by what is really important and what we, you know, they're just blinded. We'll just say blinded. They're blinded. So he's doing his thing. He's got to do what he's got to do. And so we're going to be the light, right? And no matter what it looks like, that's what our job has to be, is to be a light. So let me give you guys a few tips as well, because I could talk about myself and my journey for a long time. And so I want to give you guys a few things, a few little nuggets over my journey that I could say you could really hold on to. And one of those things where my key motto was to be consistent. So I'm a very simple person. I'm very artistic and I like to create, but I like even more so finding someone that's done Mary Kay successfully and copying that cat. As long as you copy the right cat, then you're great. But that was my first speech I ever gave in Mary Kay, was on consistency. I gave Mary Kay the job as a respect, like a job. I think a lot of people want to put in hobby hours but expect a career income. I recruit people to have lives of and then some. I limit the concept of, just joining for, a side hustle. I think that we can dub down the opportunity. I know that's like a word and a key phrase, but I think that we can hurt our own opportunity. I think we can hurt people by saying, I don't really think you can do much with it, so just do it for part-time or whatever it might be. So keep the passion, the purpose, the passion of changing her life, the passion of her getting out of a situation. If you could make, guys, any amount of money that you could make per month, like what would it be if there was no fears, if there was no obstacles, what would that income be? What would that income be? And, help her to think, a new thought with that. So consistency. During the 9 months that I was a consultant before I became a director, I earned a car during that period of time. And I think that one of the biggest reasons why I earned a car is because I told people I was going to do it. I became public with the goal. So I was consistent with my work, and my work was not a lot. It was 2 parties a week. I know that 3 is great. Like 3 is what we teach and train. And so it was, 2 parties a week during that time. It was an hour of booking every day. So even though we are virtual, if I could give you a virtual tip, it would be keep as much as you can the same. Don't change the daily routines of, 1 hour of booking calls every single day. If it was 2 new bookings a day, don't change that. Don't change. You're not changing. People keep saying everything's changed. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. If your goal was 35 leads a week or 5 names a day, it's still 5 names a day, just virtual. You're just changing how you get the 5 names. You're looking for them, through referrals, through people, or different ways. But the goals, the daily task goals, have to remain the same. So I earned my car, right? I went public. I told people that I was earning my car. I put myself out there to be a woman of my word. Even when I had no recruits. I had no recruits, and I was telling everybody that I was earning a car with Mary Kay. So I went public, guys, with it. And I think for being in a small town, I did not always have family support. I know I said that my husband was super supportive, but not the first year and a half. I thought I was going to kill him. So he didn't really completely get the picture that I got. And I think that that's normal. I think if you're not battling your husband, you're probably battling your mama, or at some point you will, your mama or your grandma or somebody that you love. And I think that it's important that you prove to that person that you're doing Mary Kay to support the family, to give the family something, to provide something, for that family. If you treat Mary Kay like a hobby and you're doing it for personal reasons, for self-growth, but your husband is watching the kids or helping you out around the house, but you're not bringing in income, but he thinks that's what you're doing it for. You've got to give him, you've got to make sure that he knows that I'm sorry, hon, I'm not doing Mary Kay for the money. I'm not doing Mary Kay to support. I really am doing this so that I don't go crazy being at home all day with 5 kids or 8 kids or whatever it might be. This is my golf. This is my, crochet. This is what I'm doing, whatever it might be. But make sure that what you're saying to him and how he's helping you is a cohesive thing in the family and the relationship. But men, for the most part, you can't go wrong. If you don't have a supportive guy, you're going to have to give him some money. You're going to have to make some money selling your Mary Kay to get him on board. And that's all, that's great because you can do that in a real quick, you can do that very quickly, 7 days. But just plan it out, right? Just plan it out that you're supporting the family in some way financially. Pay for a trip. Go to Disney World next year. Do something where you're paying for a vacation and only use your Mary Kay money. Surprise him. Find out something that he's wanted. If he had $500, if your husband had $500 and he could spend it on himself and you weren't going to yell, you weren't going to say nothing bad, you weren't going to yell, what would he do with the $500? And secretly, buy that for him. And so get it together. It could be whatever it might be. I don't know, maybe a horse saddle, which you can't probably get a good one for $500, but figure it out, figure it out and, and give him some little things with that. When I started, I had 2 children. I had a 1-year-old and 3-year-old, and then I've had 2 babies since. So I had, I started Mary Kay with 2 toddlers, and then I won my first pink Cadillac pregnant with number 3. And then I won my first pink Cadillac with number 3, but I brought Thomas, my baby, was the one that I won my first trip. So regardless of your situation, your life, what it looks like, there's not a better time for you to do it because God gave you Mary Kay now. So he chose the timing of your business. He chose the timing of your launch date. He chose the timing of your debut. Basically, who your director is, whose unit that you're in. So we can't constantly be questioning his decision of your journey, right? Because it's only going to hinder the results. It's only going to hinder his vision for your life. So say yes. Go just be available. Say, yes, I'm here today, Lord, for you. I'm going to show up in my Mary Kay business. How can you use me today? What does that look like today? Help me to, to see that you're working in my life today. So have those conversations, as many times as you can. And, honestly, you're not going to fail. I'm sure you've heard this from Cleta or your director. There is no way that you can fail unless you just quit. You just cannot fail. You cannot fail unless you decide, unless you turn it off, unless you shut it down, right? Unless you give yourself an ultimatum or whatever it is, you cannot fail. It's the greatest sisterhood, the greatest support group that you can ever have. And, I believe, I think that in my case, and I hope maybe I could be that for you today, or that you can have a conversation with somebody, with one of your directors that completely makes you shift and commit. Because when you're halfway into Mary Kay, you will only get halfway results. It won't change. You can't be a halfway in consultant and just whine that you haven't got a superstar recruit yet. Because, your friend over here, she's all the way in. And so she's reliable. God can entrust her with some recruits that's going to go on and get a car and work with her for 30 years because she's committed. So are we faithful or are we not? Are we living in faith more than we are in doubt? And it's okay if we have to over and over reflect on these things as many times as you need to. But one day, obviously, thankfully I had that pivot. I had that paradigm shift, and God saved me in my Mary Kay business. And that's, I earned my card and I became a director. And a lot of times, guys, when you're on the right path and you make a godly decision, it's the enemy's job to come in right behind it, not too much longer later, and make you question it. And make you question, did you make that right decision? Should you have joined? Should you have became a new director? Should you have earned a car? Was that good? And that's what happened to me. So I became a director because I finally mustered up enough courage to say, well, I can figure it out. I'll figure it out as I go. It'll be fine. And I started to question myself. And I actually went to Disney World. A lot of times when you don't like where you are, you run or hide, or you go do something else, you deflect, you go find something else fun to do, you pretend that you don't have no work to do, you pretend. And I went to Disney World, and I was thinking about, not being a director. I had only been a director for like a month, so I had no idea. I was clueless, and I was questioning myself, like, gosh, should I have done that? Like, should I have become a director? Like, was that the right decision? And my mom was with me, y'all. So we look like the Granny Clampets when we go on vacation sometimes. And so my mom was with me, my grandma was with, everybody's with me. We all go. And I said, Mom, I was in Disney World, and it was December, and it was it was bad weather. It was rainy, it was nasty, and everybody had those rain plastic bags on. And I recognized this lady from the back of the Applause magazine. See, I'd only been in Mary Kay for like 9-10 months at this point. So maybe like 10, 11 months. And I said, Mom, I said, you see that lady over there? I was like, she makes $40,000 a month selling Mary Kay. And I'm whispering to her. And my mom says, she goes, who makes $40,000 a month selling Mary Kay? I mean, so loud, because she was over there. Like, this lady was over there with her raincoat on. She had her 2 daughters with her. She had her husband with her. She was on family vacation, right? And she didn't know me. I just recognized her from the little square in the back of the Applause magazine. And she looked over, she looked over at me. And I knew I had to say something, because I'd just be totally rude and disrespectful. And so I walked over there, and I put out my hand, and I said, hello, I'm a new director with Mary Kay. I mean, she didn't know me. I mean, I never met nobody. I never met anybody. And she took my hand, and I don't think she said anything but one word. And I think all she said was welcome. But y'all, it was the moment. It was the moment. She held my hand, and she looked at me with her gorgeous eyes, and it was Stacey James, and she just said, welcome. And I knew that God was saying, you're where you're supposed to be, to the point that I had put Stacey James in Disney World, where you're trying to run away from me, and so there she was, right? And I knew, I had to do it. I was convicted. So if you hadn't been like knocked down convicted lately, pray for it. Pray that he just convicts you, and that you were completely, utterly uncomfortable, right? Just pray for it. So I was convicted, and I didn't know what, I didn't know what I was doing, y'all. But that's the thing, is if you're doing God's work, you don't have to know a thing. You don't got to know a thing. So you can just give it, just let it go. You don't have to know a thing, because he'll work through you. He'll help you figure out the Zoom meetings. He'll help you figure out how to stream in it, stream on the YouTube and stream on the Facebook, and do your breakout sessions. Don't you just I'm here. Just keep saying, I'm here. You got me. And he won't leave you. He never left me. And so that was my story, and I've been, forging ahead, ever since. But Cleta, I've so enjoyed my time with you guys today, and thank y'all for letting me tell y'all my stories. And I hope that something I said today will be impactful in some moments of your life, of your career. So thank you.
Oh my goodness. Listen, I just thought all I need to do is put prayer list, and I'm going to go back through the notes and write everything you said. Pray for this, pray for this, pray for this. That's awesome. And the biggest thing is to be convicted that God has you where he wants you to be. He's going to put the people in your path you're supposed to be with, and to just calm down and let him work, And so I thank you so much. It touched me. It convicted me. Good. For sure. And I know it convicted these gals that are on here. So I am going to open the floor to some of you beautiful ladies that would like to thank Kristen just for her time tonight. I mean, she's got lots to do. She's a busy woman. And so I'm going to just open up the gallery here so we can kind of see you. I know we got lots on Facebook just having a great time listening that are thanking you as well. And so if you'd like to just unmute and say something to Kristen before we let her go, that would be awesome.
Hey, Kristen. I'm Lorene. I'm one of Cleta's offspring, and I have been convicted the whole time, and I've been writing notes. And just thank you so much for sharing your heart today. And you give me hope for that DC personality as well. Some of the things you were saying, I'm like, oh my God, that's me, that's me, that's me. So thank you so much, just for reminding us of things that we really need to know, that God has us, in the season and for his reasons, and we just need to trust in his timing with everything. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Kristen. I'm Janet, also one of Cleta's offsprings, and I have to agree with Loree. Y'all have a lot in common. I was thinking that when you were talking. But thank you so much for sharing your heart, for sharing with us. And I think sometimes we forget about the convictions. And as you were speaking, like running into someone at Disney, I thought about who God put in my path to reassure me I was where I was supposed to be. And I think that's a great reminder for us to have those convictions and know that this is a God thing, and we have to follow through for God to do what his plan is with us, with Mary Kay. So thank you so much for sharing tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you, Janet.
Hey, Kristen, this is Selah. I am one of Cleta's offspring, and you are so powerful. The Lord's light just shines through you, and thank you for reminding us that we cannot fail in this business unless we quit. That is a great, great reminder. So, like they said, thank you so much for all the reassurances and the encouragement and the list of things to pray for. And we just appreciate you so much tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I love being around all these praying women.
Yes. Listen, that we're all about that.
Well, hi, Kristen. I'm Connie, and I just want to say thank you as well. I'm not one of Cleta's offspring, but Cleta did speak at my director debut, so I'm connected to Cleta in that way. But I do want to just say thank you so much for taking your time tonight. And oh my gosh, thank you for telling us the story about Stacey James, because the honest truth is, you're so right. So many times the devil does try to put those doubts in our minds, like, am I really the right person for this job? Am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And so it is, it's just a great reminder for all of us that we just need to definitely be asking him always. I mean, I always do anyway, asking him for guidance, but getting that kind of a sign, that is just really great. And I love what you said, what are you waiting for? I think that is, it's a great reminder to our consultants that are listening tonight too, because I think that sometimes they all feel like they need to get their whole lives in order before they can think about recruiting people and becoming a leader themselves. So thank you for bringing that up as well. This was great tonight. And so again, thank you so much.
You know what, Connie, I remember, and Kristen, I remember as a newer director, I think we had just finished our very first unit club, and no one in my friend group made the reception. Like, I was the only one, so I had to go by myself for the first, to go to the royalty reception. And somehow at my hotel, I was going out, and there was a taxi, and these two women said, well, you can just ride with us. And of course I was all dressed up and by myself, and I was in my 20s, and I ended up in the back of a cab with Carol Anton and Karen Pirro on either, and they both sandwiched me. And I'm like, of course I knew who they were. They did not know me from, Adam's House Cat. And I'm like, and for those of you that are new, those are two just phenomenal national sales directors. And I said, wow. I said, what a privilege for me to be in the car with y'all. And they're like, no, we're privileged to be with you. And they just they were so humble, and just, I'll never forget how they made me feel that day. And I mean, I don't even remember any other conversation with them except for how they made me feel, and not any kind of less than or anything else. They were just so gracious. And so it is a moment that I've never forgot, and so like that with Stacey James, I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does anybody else would like to say anything else before we convene? I know we have other directors on here that are jumped on. I'm so glad y'all did. And you know, Kristen, I just want to, I'd like to maybe just close with a prayer tonight. Okay. So, dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we just want to lift up Kristen Myers and her whole national area, Lord, her offspring nationals, all of her sales directors, all of her unit members, all of their customers, Lord. And when you think about the thousands of women and men that are included in that number, Lord, we know that you have your hand upon them. And so we just pray for Kristen to just keep leading as you lead her. We pray for her area to keep growing as you grow her. And Lord, I just thank you for her time tonight. I thank you for her, just her heart and what she means to this company and what she means to me. And so, Lord, I pray for each of the other directors on here and our unit members that came on here and also our customers. And Lord, we just pray during this season of opportunity that we will find the opportunity to bless others and enrich others and be the light when a lot of people are feeling like they're in the dark right now. So Lord, we just lift up our Mary Kay, our company. We lift up seminar that's next week, that it will really touch people, that it will move people, and that it will help them just become better women and better children of God, Lord. And just keep your hand upon Mary Kay Incorporated. Keep your hand on us to make the decisions that we always put God first, Lord. And we just thank you for everything. We thank you that we're in a space that we can be with women like Kristen that will just shed your light more clearly on us and our business. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
So thank you so much, Kristen. Ladies, thank you for everything. And for the Cheetah Nation, we will do our count ups and all that good stuff next week. So kind of remember what you sold and all of that. But the biggest thing this week, y'all know, is to get registered for seminar. You have 3 more days by the 13th to order your new fall products, especially all those that did PCP, or if you were a star. Otherwise, you can order on Saturday. And to get your holiday lookbooks, your enrollment done by the 17th. So those are the 3 big things to work on this week. And how about booking a party? Wouldn't that be awesome if everybody did a party this week? I did one. This is what's so great. I did one at 6 o'clock tonight. So, I mean, literally, I went over every single skincare thing that we have, plus the whole miracle set, plus all the bookings, the referrals, all that for a new consultant, 1 hour flat. Done. And I'm like, no other time. That's the opportunity. Normally, I would have to leave my house, drive over there, set up, do a 2-hour party, close, go home, and it would be a 5 to probably 10 or 11, knowing me. Instead, 1 little hour of my life, and then it'll be the follow-up with the orders and everything. But you guys, you can do it. Don't make it hard. And even if there's only 4 people and they're listening to you talk, it's okay. It's okay. Just do it. Get that one out of the way. You can do it. I promise you. And if you're nervous, you just call your little director and say, hey, will you do my first one? And guess what? We will. We will. It's so easy. We love doing it. So you guys have a great week. I'm going to ask the Cheetah directors to hang on here for a second. Kristen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to meeting your unit and your area next month.
I can't wait. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.